Coming up on News Channel 4 Primetime, a huge black bear attacks a woman in Miami County. Tonight, in a special Focus 4 report, we'll take a closer look at what it takes to own an exotic pet. Police crack down on the traffic going through Swope Park to help curb violence there. And cities in the St. Louis area get pounded by floodwaters. We'll have a live report next on News Channel 4 Primetime.
From Kansas City's 24-hour news channel, this is News Channel 4 Primetime.
Good evening and welcome to News Channel 4 Primetime. I'm Dave Helling.
And I'm Sue Abrams. Our top story tonight, emergency crews are doing battle along the Missouri River in St. Charles. Sandbagging is going on round the clock and the river should crest 12 feet over flood stage tomorrow. Ron Corning of our sister station, KTVI in St. Louis, is live in St. Charles. And Ron, tell us what's the latest there.
Well, Sue, we're actually told at this hour there has been an early crest here on the Missouri River. But because of a levee break north of here, the river is continuing to slowly rise here in St. Charles County. And as the people here in St. Charles County know, the emergency personnel and the residents, an early cresting doesn't mean a whole lot. North St. Charles City is located in a 100-year floodplain, but for the second time in 2 years, the Missouri River has moved in. Those living closest to the rising water, though, aren't moving out. They're sandbagging.
People, like I say, in the complex, we all hold together and work together to do this and protect the property. It's our home. Not going to leave. No way. No way.
Hand in hand, yeah. Everybody's helping out everybody. I know we just moved a couch up, my roommate's couch out of the garage last night, and had guys from all around helping me, so everybody's doing the buddy system, definitely.
Store owners in this strip mall are building a wall of protection around their livelihoods. With water lapping at the edge of their parking lot, they could be hardest hit. Yesterday, some 200 volunteers turned out to create a stockpiling of sandbags. Today, some volunteers were sent home. Are you prepared for later in the week if they get more rain here to come back if they need you?
Oh, certainly. Yes, we would certainly come back if they needed us.
And all of the volunteers are being asked to stay on standby. Forecasters are tracking a storm system across the Midwest that could dump as much rain on this region as it did last week. In the meantime, the United Methodist Church, which sits atop higher ground in St. Charles, has been turned into an American Red Cross shelter. They are expecting, as the rivers rise, that more and more people will go there to find shelter in the days and weeks to come, possibly even longer than that. Dave and Sue?
All right, Ron, that storm which is approaching is a scary part. Thanks very much for that report from St. Charles.
Meanwhile, emergency management crews say all of this flooding is causing an ecological disaster tonight. As we told you last night, officials discovered a petroleum-based liquid in the floodwaters near Weldon Springs, Missouri. They shut down every pipeline in the area, but they can't seem to find the source of the leak. Ground workers, people in boats, and even helicopters are searching for the source of that leak.
Here at home, the Missouri River finally has dipped below flood stage and continues to recede, but we may not be safe. News Channel 4 meteorologist Diane Kaczmarek says rain is in the forecast for the coming week. Towns like Hardin, Lexington, and Napoleon have already experienced some grim reminders of 1993.
What we have here in the long term, looking back over history, is we have a situation where in Kansas City we came within a little more than 1 foot of where we were in May of 1993. And that flood event in May 1993 was the prelude to what happened in July of 1993.
The Missouri River from Kansas City to St. Louis remains closed to barge traffic.
The rising waters this past week hurt businesses up and down the Missouri River. Even so, the riverboat gaming business is booming, at least here. And you can find more than just gamblers flocking to the casinos. People continue to check out employment at the riverboats, so much so that it is apparently hurting the labor pool north of the river. Many mom-and-pop businesses are feeling the pinch. The casinos, though, don't agree.
We think that we're helping all the organizations. We're all competing for the same labor pool, which is relatively scarce, but we think that we're adding to the community, not competing with mom-and-pop organizations.
Some of my friends in the business have complained not so much about the drain on the labor pool as loss of revenue.
The Kansas City, Missouri City Council approved agreements with 4 more riverboats this past week, but the Gaming Commission must still consider licenses for them. Well, this just into News Channel 4. 2 and possibly 3 people have apparently been shot. It happened near 71st and Agnes in Kansas City, Missouri this evening. Right now, we know at least 1 victim is on his way to the hospital in very critical condition. We do not know the condition of the 2nd victim. Police are checking out reports of a 3rd victim. We have a crew on the scene, and we will have the latest as it becomes available, and more on this story tonight on News Channel 4 at 10.
A man wanted for murder in Kansas is one of 2 suspects on the loose. They are thought to be in the woods of Washington State. Authorities in Packwood, Washington are hunting for Terry Terhune and his brother Curtis. As deputies closed in on them Friday, 1 suspect broke out a window of their van and began firing. The men ran into a U.S. forest. Deputies have been searching for them with dogs. As promised, Kansas City, Missouri police came out in force near Swope Park this afternoon. For 5 hours, they held a sobriety checkpoint at 63rd and Jackson. Police say they stopped nearly 1,000 cars. They made no drunk driving arrests, but they did apprehend 4 people for other violations. The checkpoint is the first part of a plan to crack down on violence in Swope Park.
This is the beginning, and as you see, people, they won't come. They got to come this way. So I think this is the beginning, that actually going in the park and mingling with the young adults and being a part of them, and I think all of that will work together.
An NAACP representative was on hand to watch the police.
New crime statistics are out tonight, and it looks like one of the safest places to raise children is right in our own backyard. The Missouri Highway Patrol says Lee's Summit is the safest of 21 cities it surveyed in the state. News Channel 4's Stephanie Nishikawa shows us why Lee's Summit is a safe place to raise your kids.
Fostering family activities and plenty of outdoor life is just a part of what makes a city a safe place to live. Many families in Lee's Summit aren't surprised. Their home turf came out on top.
A lot of activities geared towards children and young people, sports and just a lot of different activities. So I think that really helps to keep them out of trouble.
To give you an idea just how much crime there is in the state of Missouri, the police department reports a serious crime once every 1.9 minutes. And here in Lee's Summit, once every 7 hours.
We still have a little bit of the small town atmosphere. It's very easy for us to get out and again, interact with all the civic groups and the high schools, and relate with juveniles right up to the elderly.
The Missouri Highway Patrol recently compiled a study that shows what percentage of a given city's population will be affected in a serious crime. Here's how the Kansas City metro area stacked up. In Lee's Summit, 2.3% of the population will be a victim of crime. Gladstone, almost 3%. Blue Springs, 3.5%. Raytown and Grandview stands at almost 4%. Independence, more than 6%. And Kansas City, almost 13%. As the big city life grows, more and more families are moving to safer and smaller suburban cities. Lee's Summit population is growing at a rate of 7% a year. Not bad for a town where a good watchdog may be a good enough deterrent against crime. Stephanie Nishikawa, News Channel 4.
Lee's Summit had only 1 homicide in 1994, and the year before that, the city had none.
Well, there are probably times when your kids seem out of control with anger.
Parents do sometimes. Well, coming up at 9:12, see how elementary school students are working with actors to express their feelings.
And is an 800-pound cougar the pet for you? Well, at 9:25, we'll tell you all you need to know about exotic pets.
Well, today wasn't so bad. We had some morning rain, but we've had a break. But how long will this break last? Find out coming up.
And next, the top 5 movies of the weekend, plus your chance to vote for your favorite. Stay with us for that.
In the spring, I have counted 136 different kinds of weather inside of 24 hours.
Strongest storms continue to be in Ray County.
Thunderstorms are developing.
Let's take a look at Doppler 4 and show you what's happening.
Only one Kansas City station has the manpower and the technology to cover the weather every one of those 24 hours. News Channel 4, covering weather like never before.
My one and only, you know I couldn't live without about you. There's only one place that offers you some of the best shopping in the world, the one and only Plaza. Besides an exceptional atmosphere, enjoy over 150 celebrated stores, including more than 70 you won't find anywhere else in town. Then dine at any of 25 incomparable restaurants. The one and only Plaza. Come see us soon.
I love the way I feel with you.
Quality. Get close. Buick quality. Get very close. Get close to the unsurpassed quality and dependability of Century. Save up to $1,000 during Buick's Qualidays. Century, traditional styling, a quiet, comfortable, and roomy interior, and acclaimed for its safety and quality. See Randy Reed, Don Stein, Robert Brogdon, or Dave Cross. Rarely is such quality on sale in Kansas City. Quality. Holidays.
Hi, I'm from Southwestern Bell Telephone with a new guarantee for you.
But my phone service is reliable.
Well, now that reliability is guaranteed in writing.
Great. Everything should be so dependable.
And if we don't come through for you, we'll credit your bill.
Well, I really don't worry about my phone service.
The reliability you expect now guaranteed from Southwestern Bell Telephone. Yes, it's that simple.
Now that has never happened before.
Two big-budget action thrillers are fighting for your money. Bruce Willis stars in Die Hard with a Vengeance. It scored the biggest opening weekend of this year, making more than $21 million. Second this weekend, Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. The submarine movie had the best opening of the year last weekend. Billy Crystal's new movie, Forget Paris, is in third place this weekend. While You Were Sleeping and French Kiss round out the top 5.
Well, did you get a chance to see a movie this weekend? Well, if so, we want you to help your fellow movie lovers by calling into our Tell 4 lines tonight. If you could tell a friend to see one of these four, actually 5 movies on your screen, give us a call at 338-3000, extension 7655. Then choose the number of the movie that you liked best. Or you can play Siskel and Ebert by calling our voicemail lines. Call the same number, then dial extension 0404 and leave us a short review of your favorite film of the weekend. We'll have preliminary results around 9:35 and then final numbers plus your voicemail reviews at the end of Primetime.
Can't wait for that. Well, there's nothing like watching a youngster in the midst of a full-blown temper tantrum. Parents can easily feel helpless and scared. Tonight, For Your Health, Marilyn McCain looks at how some kids are learning to cope with their anger in a positive way.
Elementary students are really getting involved in this play. It's called When I Feel Angry. Professional actors give some real-life examples of things that make kids mad. Then the kids tell the actors how to solve the problem.
If you live the experience, then it's a part of you, and that's what the theater adds to a real important message.
The message is meanness and violence don't solve problems, and
Television and real life are two different things, okay? Sometimes you have to think about the consequences of your actions and decide to control yourself.
And when you look at these intense faces, you know the children paid attention to what was going on.
I learned to try to hold back my feelings more instead of just really trying to express them.
I learned to kind of control my anger when sometimes I might get carried away though.
The long-range goal is really for children to understand it's okay to be angry. Feelings are okay, it's what you do with them that's important. And through this play, we give the children 4 or 5 different ways to address them.
The play's developers believe if children don't learn about conflict resolution, then their health, safety, and wellness are at stake. Your Health, Marilyn McCain, News Channel 4.
More than 16,000 people have seen that play. It was created by the Academy Theater and a children's hospital in Atlanta.
More bad news to report from Zaire. The deadly Ebola virus has now killed more than 100 people. The World Health Organization says 9 more people have been diagnosed with the deadly disease. That brings the total number of cases there to 137. They also say they now believe the outbreak of the deadly disease could have started back in December. That will make it much harder to find everyone who may have been exposed to Ebola. Well, what happens when you put together mutts and motorcycles?
Hey, a pretty hip and wild day. We'll take you to all the action. That's coming up next.
Only one station paints the complete picture.
3 onboard mounted cameras.
When a story breaks, count on Johnny Rowlands and News Chopper 4 to take you right to the scene. News Chopper 4, covering news like never before.
Did you know that News Channel 4 is the only Kansas City station with 2 Doppler radar systems? Pick up our new Weathering the Storm handbook and find out how we track storms more accurately than any other station in town.
Pick up your Weathering the Storm handbook at your participating State Farm agent.
Under cover of darkness, they move in. Thousands of Ford trucks headed straight for your local Ford dealers. It's Ford Truck Month. That means you'll find a huge selection of F-150s with a low lease payment of just $279 a month for 24 months. Or lease a 95 Ranger with driver's side airbag for only $219 a month. You'll even find big savings on the all-new Explorer. So see your local Ford dealer now before Truck Month rolls out of town.
An exciting performance is taking place in healthcare, right here in Kansas City. Doctors, hospitals, employers, employees, they're all joining in. We're Principal Healthcare. Doctors you trust, quality care you need. We pull it all together in perfect harmony. What healthcare is meant to be. Principal Healthcare of Kansas City, a member of the Principal Financial Group.
Like a rock, standing arrow straight, like a rock, charging from the gate, like a rock.
Chevy was the first to give full-size pickups an independent front suspension. Because the last thing we'd want to do is spill this guy's coffee.
Like a rock, oh, like a rock.
Call Midwestern Builders for a quality-built room addition, sunroom, extra bath, any home remodeling. Long-term, low-rate financing is still available.
3212277, anytime, night or day.
Two-wheelers teamed up for four-leggers today. Worth Harley-Davidson hosted a 100-mile motorcycle ride to benefit Wayside Waves. Hundreds of bikers turned out to help the Animal Shelter and Humane Society. The riders' entry fees should add up to a healthy chunk of change for that organization. And a good day for it, too, Diane.
Oh, yes, except for some counties in the southern end of our viewing area. They had some rain for quite a while there today. But we lucked out. At least Kansas City Metro stayed pretty much dry except for the morning. And it looks like we'll stay dry for a short time longer, but there's some thunderstorms already firing up in Nebraska that will be affecting our weather as soon as tomorrow. Let's take a look at our temperatures for the day today. Our temperatures managed to be close to where we should be. 74 for the high and 76 is the average high this time of the year. A little cool this morning, 48, and 57 is about where we should be this time of the year. Nowhere near those records, though. Let's take a look here at the clouds and how they've been very developed, I guess, out here through the southern part of our viewing area here across southern Missouri, and that disappears. But watch these thunderstorms back here in Nebraska. This is where the thunderstorm is occurring. This is the top of it being blown eastward right toward the Kansas City area. And it looks like in about a half an hour, we're going to see those clouds covering up our stars out there. But it's from a couple of thunderstorms right here that are getting very strong. And the upper level winds blow the tops of those thunderstorms eastward, so we're going to see some of those high clouds. That won't affect the weather. The problem is what's causing these thunderstorms will be approaching for tomorrow, giving us that threat. But let's take a look at our travel forecast and see how things will be in other places across the country. Setting up for another similar weather pattern, hopefully not too much like last week, where the heat will return in the southeast as a trough of low pressure forms in the west. So that heat is building northward here. 84 degrees in Charlotte tomorrow, 89 in Atlanta, 82 in Nashville. Not much rain, at least not yet for the east. Upper 80s for Florida. In fact, very mild in the upper 70s as far north as New England. So we really have not had the heat just yet. They've had it out in the east, though, 89 in Memphis also. The rain will start to move into Memphis late in the day. Now let's take a look back to the west here. Temperatures, of course, usually warm in the desert areas there, but on the California coast, cool and comfortable in the mid-60s there all the way up through San Francisco. And back edge of that system here, we'll see some rain spread across the mountain region all the way back into Idaho, Boise about 72 degrees. And then closer to home here in the Central Plains, Well, we're starting to see that system develop, so we're starting to see that threat for rain occurring just to our west most of the day. Tomorrow, getting hot in Texas there, upper 80s, some 90s showing up there in Midland, but 74 degrees as far north as Minneapolis. So that warmth is starting to build in. We'll be very warm tomorrow, too, for, I guess, a little bit of a change. Our temperature's really been a little bit below normal, but again, thunder showers arriving for the evening hours. In the morning, though, our frontal system will still be up to the north, and the focus for the showers and thunderstorms will be mainly right along the front. But since we have a warm front forming out here just to our west, there's going to be a little bit of a shot out here in southern Missouri for some thunder showers, and this activity will be building eastward through the day. Our best shot won't be until the evening hours. Right now, though, our temperatures 65 degrees there at KCI, 69 downtown. We're seeing some few 70s showing up there as those clouds are building in to kind of stop the dropping of those temperatures for the evening hours. 58 degrees overnight tonight, so warmer than this morning, but then what we're seeing as tomorrow develops, some thunder showers early afternoon on the Kansas side toward Topeka, but then not getting here until later in the late afternoon and evening hours. Best shot for it. We'll get all the way to 83, so still nice and warm. And then as we head through the rest of the week here, Tuesday, yes, Monday night and Tuesday looks like our best shot for some heavy rain again. Tuesday it should taper off later in the day. Wednesday, maybe just a couple of showers, give us a little bit of a break, and Thursday, maybe some more rain in here. And Friday, we break out of it a little bit.
All right, Diane, looks terrible.
I know, not a great weather pattern.
Well, hopefully it'll get better as the weeks go by. All right, thanks a lot.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Diane. Frank Bowl joins us a little bit later in Primetime with sports. He'll have highlights from the Royals game with the A's out at Kauffman Stadium, plus all of the highlights from the rest of today's Major League Baseball games. The NBA's Eastern Conference semifinal between New York and Indiana was a great game. You want to stay tuned for that. And the NHL's Stanley Cup playoffs continue. San Jose against Detroit. All of that coming up a little bit later in sports.
Some breaking news for you just into the newsroom tonight. We have information about a possible train derailment at 40 Highway and Highway 7. 30 cars are reported off the tracks, and a Kmart and Hy-Vee grocery store have been evacuated. We will, of course, have more on this story as the information becomes available. We do have a crew en route.
It's an important story. We'll have the information for you as soon as it becomes available. Well, it seems everyone is looking for a unique type of animal these days.
Is that smart? Find out as we look at the latest pet trend in tonight's Focus 4 report.
But first, tell us what you think about tonight's Tell 4 question. You get 5 movies to pick from. Call us with your vote. We'll be back in just a moment.
Girlfriends, boyfriends, babies, boomers, deceivers, believers. Montel brings us together.
Weekdays at 9 on News Channel 4.
Which has faster winds, a tornado or a hurricane? What's the difference between a watch and a warning? Find out the answers to those questions and much more when you pick up this year's Weathering the Storm Handbook.
Available at participating State Farm agents.
This is the Grand Prix you were born for. 24-valve, 210 horsepower engine. You rock it down straightaways, toying with the asphalt emotions of the road. You wonder why your mother didn't name you Jacques. And if it wasn't for your Great Dane slobbering in your ear, you might forget it's a sport coupe. Dual airbags, anti-lock brakes. Yes, this is one heck of a car. The 1995 Pontiac Grand Prix. We are driving excitement.
Presenting a faster Rice-A-Roni. Rice-A-Roni Fast Cook. Ready in just 5 minutes. Delicious Rice-A-Roni. For people on the go.
Dad, does Mobile House have wheels?
It only got here on wheels.
Mom? 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 Mom, where's my room? Oh, is it all mine?
All yours.
Way cool.
I think he likes it.
Call for a free brochure on today's manufactured home. 1-800-472-0264.
What are you looking for?
The wheels?
No way. This is our house.
You got the winning color.
I run my engine anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's constant. Been using Pennzoil a little over 20 years, and Pennzoil has always stood by me. It's never failed me.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts, works like liquid ball bearings.
Pennzoil says it works like liquid ball bearings. It must, because it just keeps on rolling.
Quality Pennzoil motor oil is available at Venture.
This cute little kitty will grow up to weigh more than 800 pounds. Not the best possible pet, obviously, for people with children. Let's see, when we think of the family pet, we all have an image, of course, of Fido or perhaps a cute kitten.
But more people are buying exotic pets. And when we say exotic, well, we mean it. In tonight's Focus 4 report, Mike Walter introduces us to a prize fighter and his prized collection of exotic animals.
Tommy Morrison is at home in the ring and the cage.
You know, sometimes in this game you feel like you're by yourself. I mean, even though you have a team and you're in the gym training together, when you step into the ring, you're there by yourself. And you really feel you become an animal.
He's gained attention for his punches. Now he's gaining attention for his pets. These caged cats raised a few eyebrows when they first arrived. Morrison bought 2 cougars and a leopard from a petting zoo when they were only just a few weeks old.
People don't really believe it. They don't really understand it because no one around us really ever actually done this before. But, you know, they think it's pretty neat, but at the same time, you know, they think it's a little odd too. But I've always been, you know, the sort of person that I've always been a leader in my life. I've never really been a follower. And I've been known to do some strange things in my life and probably will do some more before I die. But
to these cats, he's the boxer, and I'm breakfast. As he calmly talks about his cats, his leopard snacks on my pant leg. You can tell these are Tommy's pets because they pack a punch. A little bit later, we witness a left-right combination.
Even though the animals they're nothing more than the big house cats, they're declawed and defanged, and they're, you know, you can get in there and wrestle with them, play with them.
And that's exactly what he likes to do. You won't just find the exotic on the outside. Inside his Oklahoma home, there's the parrot and the Morrison monkey.
And he got his ear all burnt, his back was burned, he got his tail ripped off, so he's been through a lot here lately.
The monkey survived a house fire. The owner wanted to put it to sleep, but Morrison wanted it to live.
I actually kind of felt sorry for him, and I didn't want to see him die, so I think I paid $700 for him and brought him back here, and he's slowly adapting, I guess.
Morrison says he takes good care of his animals. He says he knows what he's doing, but more and more exotic pet owners are learning that they are in way over their heads.
They are not pets, all right? These are wild animals. Lay down. Lay down.
At the end of this bumpy, muddy Northwest Arkansas road, you'll find the last stop for a lot of exotic animals in our region. It's the Turpentine Creek Exotic Wildlife Refuge. It's the fastest-growing nonprofit wildlife refuge in the area. Some exotic pet owners are on a long waiting list. It's a waiting list to donate their animals, and the reason is obvious.
It's easy to fall in love with cats like this one. After all, it's about the size of a normal kitty cat. This 3-week-old cat, though, can grow up to be about 800 to 900 pounds.
People think it'd be neat to have them as pets, and they don't realize that they wake up and they're about 800 pounds the next day, all right, more or less, all right? And at that point, a lot of people get hurt.
So, just how long does it take for your pet to become predator?
That fast. Seriously, I mean, you know, it's ungodly how fast and how ferocious they can really be. This guy right here, he was a guard cat for an illegal drug operation in Austin. And he don't mess. He don't mess around, you know. I mean, he would kill you in a heartbeat. And once they grab hold of you, you might as well say goodbye because there ain't no coming back from it. Because Tarzan movies don't really exist, all right?
The difference can be measured in size and sound.
and they sit there and they put out that roar at you and that growl at you. It's just, I've been around them for 18 years, and it's just still like bone chilling.
Even though they're wild animals, you can still see that they were once pets. The people who work here have a mixture of love and respect for the animals. This bear arrived here a short while ago. It's a bear donated by a family from Peculiar, Missouri.
Well, my husband, he loved animals, and there wasn't an animal that he didn't want. He decided he wanted a bear, and I kind of put my foot down a little bit, and he won.
Everyone in Peculiar knew about Bill and his bear, but when Bill Miller died suddenly in a tragic car wreck, his wife Kim knew that Bear would have to go.
I wasn't real comfortable with going in by myself and cleaning his pen. I don't think he would do anything, but, you know, if something would happen, then there I'd be, and it was hard. In all honesty, it was kind of like seeing one more big piece of my husband, you know, to say goodbye to.
Now the family is left with home movies and memories. The family still has their conventional pets. Miller says that's the way it ought to be, and she would urge others to avoid getting an exotic animal as a pet.
I really wouldn't advise it for just anybody. And you do have to have some, you know, a lot of respect for them, and you have to know that they are wild, and it's not like a dog or a cat you can carry around with you. I don't know, I wouldn't advise it.
So while Morrison may be able to keep his pets happy and harmless, there are other exotic pet owners who felt much the same way. But in the end, they find out how much work the animals are, and in many cases, they give them away. So in the end, the exotic pets end up in an exotic wildlife refuge like this one.
Jojo, get down from there. Get down.
Mike Walter, News Channel 4.
And Miller does plan to take her son and daughters to Turpentine Creek to see the bear later this year.
Meantime, at the Wildlife Refuge, they tell us they no longer take cats. As they put it, the list of cats that need a home is continuing to grow. But more than that, they must build more habitats before they can accept any more tigers or lions.
Well, listen to this. A licensed animal breeder in Miami County went to the hospital this weekend after being attacked by her bear. The sheriff's department says 48-year-old Donna Rose was trying to get the bear into a moving truck when it bit her. She was treated and released.
Pretty dangerous stuff. Well, have you decided which movie you liked best this weekend? That's what we wanted to know in tonight's Tell 4 poll.
Okay, we asked you which of these 5 movies you'd recommend to a friend. Now, so far, 24% of our callers say Die Hard, 20% like Crimson Tide, 4% recommend the new movie Forget Paris, 45% say While You Were Sleeping, and 7% like French Kiss. Give us your opinion. Just call 338-3000 extension 7655 and register your vote, or extension 0404 to leave a voicemail message. We will have final results plus your comments at the end of prime time.
Not a good night for the Europeans. I guess Forget Paris and French Kiss are both going down.
Right you are.
Okay, give us a call. Well, still to come on your only primetime newscast, their parents wanted their prom night to be special.
But what happened might shock you. That's just one of the stories from the CNN Satellite Center. Pam McKelvey is standing by.
Sue and Dave prom night took a turn for the worst, and the limo driver stands accused of drunk driving. Also, his name and face are familiar to almost every American, and his lawyer says he can't get a fair trial. Will Timothy McVeigh get a change of venue? And surprising news out of Washington tonight. Former Secretary of Defense Les Aspin dies.
It's the night you've been waiting for. A night of betrayal.
Billy! No! Brooke set this whole thing up.
Passion.
I want you, Peter, like I've never wanted any other man.
Danger. And revenge. Whatever you do, don't miss this Melrose.
I'll kill them all.
Because it may be the very last time they're together.
No!
The special 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. Monday at 8, 7 Central. Under cover of darkness, they move in. Thousands of Ford trucks headed straight for your local Ford dealers. It's Ford Truck Month. That means you'll find a huge selection of F-150s with a low lease payment of just $279 a month for 24 months. Or lease a 95 Ranger with driver's side airbag for only $219 a month. You'll even find big savings on the all-new Explorer. So see your local Ford dealer now before Truck Month rolls out of town.
This company had announced in May that it was going to phase out all domestic operations.
Town of about 17,000 population, and you take 150 people without work, that's a tremendous negative impact.
All of us would have been out of work.
It's hard to find a job in a small town.
This town needs these jobs. Jobs are scarce here.
And our local Walmart manager, Jack Inman, said, let's do something about this. Let's see if something can happen.
It came to my mind that Sam Walton's program of Buy America was just set up for this occasion.
And he contacted Bentonville, Arkansas, and says, perhaps you can do something. A line of gown was submitted to the buyers. They liked it, and they bought it.
And these people started turning 20,000 units a week for Walmart almost overnight.
I just never dreamed when I used to hear Sam talk about this program that something like that would really happen here.
Trial. Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Pam McKelvey in the CNN Satellite Center. The attorney for the Oklahoma City bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh says the media is hurting his client's chances for a fair trial. Stephen Jones wants the trial held somewhere else to avoid the intense media coverage in the Oklahoma City. Jeff Flock has more on the latest on developments in the case.
Cement barricades, flatbed trucks ringing it, rifle-toting MPs on guard. Appropriate precautions, perhaps, for the Kansas headquarters of the terror bombing investigation, an investigation now refocusing on Kansas. This gas station clerk has told the FBI that #1 bombing suspect Timothy McVeigh frequented her station, often accompanied by a man strongly resembling the so-called John Doe #2. This week, the FBI brought not sketches, but new pictures for her to view. At least some of them believed to be faces in this crowd. Army buddies of McVeigh and the other man charged in the bombing, Terry Nichols. None of the pictures rang a bell.
We've seen him, you know, he's not a ghost or anything.
Frustrated in their search for the ghost-like John Doe 2, investigators have been working to strengthen their case against Terry Nichols. Having conceded that Terry Nichols was probably not in Oklahoma City at the time of the blast, government agents have sought to establish that the Ryder truck they believe used was parked here out behind Terry Nichols' Harrington, Kansas house in the day or two before the bombing. Agents believe the suspects bought fertilizer for the bomb at this farm co-op, the diesel fuel at this filling station, and that Nichols got the fuel meter to measure the diesel from this man at a Fort Riley Army surplus auction.
He saw this meter and said, I can sure use that.
But unlike interviews with acquaintances of McVeigh, who have painted a picture of an at times troubled or angry man, investigators don't get the same picture of Nichols.
Be the last person in the world I'd suspect of being a terrorist, or if that's what he is.
Still, the FBI thinks it knows what he is and continues to build its case. Investigators working here believe the trail to Oklahoma City began in Kansas and hope their investigation can end here, too. I'm Jeff Flock, CNN in Harrington, Kansas.
In the bombings investigation, authorities say that McVeigh's Army buddy admitted knowing that McVeigh intended to blow up the building before the blast. He also stated that he and McVeigh discussed bombing several other sites. Investigators have been questioning Michael Fortier in Oklahoma City. The FBI hints that they may hold him on charges related to the blast. Well, they said it would happen every 500 years, but tonight things certainly look familiar to the Great Flood of '93 in Missouri and Illinois. Folks are filling and stacking sandbags around the clock. Yesterday, sandbaggers tried with little success to hold back floodwaters in St. Charles County, where the Mississippi and Missouri rivers meet.
Yeah, really, this isn't hard to do. I mean, if you can't bend over, or because bad backs or whatever, you can always sit down and tie.
We can all help in some little way.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it's kind of sad. I hate to see it happen again, So I just thought whatever I could do out here would help out a little bit, and that's great.
The Mississippi River is expected to crest today in St. Louis, 11 feet above flood stage. A rehearsal air show ends in tragedy. 2 people died when a World War II plane crashed earlier today at the Jefferson County Airport in Nederland, Texas. Nederland is about 100 miles east of Houston. The event opened despite the accident. In Portugal, an automotive race turned ugly after a car burst through a barrier. 2 men died and more than 30 others suffered injuries when a Portuguese driver overturned and crashed through a safety rail. The men were spectators who were pushing through the barriers to get closer to the track. The driver was unhurt. The trial stopped following the crash. More than 8 million vehicles will be recalled because of faulty seat belts. Federal safety regulators say cars made by 8 Japanese and 3 U.S. automakers have seat belts which could unlatch in accidents. Takata Incorporated of Japan makes the faulty belts. Some 1986 to 1991 models of Honda, Nissan, Daihatsu, Mazda, Subaru, Suzuki, General Motors, and Chrysler and Ford cars are affected. 3 unidentified car makers reportedly have not yet agreed to the recall. Former Defense Secretary Les Aspin died tonight. He was admitted to Georgetown University Medical Center Saturday after suffering a massive stroke. Aspin represented Wisconsin in Congress for 22 years before President Clinton picked him to run the Pentagon. Aspin had a history of heart problems, and doctors gave him a pacemaker in 1993. He was only 56 years old. The koala is the symbol of Australia, a cuddly marsupial known around the world. But in its own home down under, the koala population is threatened. Along the east coast of Australia, large colonies have disappeared. Experts say it's because of a recent brush fires and wild animals and people moving into their territory. But now biologists from around the world are lending a helping hand.
Australia's responsible for one of the most unique natural histories in the world. And for an animal like the koala, I think that we have an enormous responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the rest of the world. And so when the rest of the world starts showing interest in conserving our wildlife, that's when it's time for a lot of us to sit up and take note. And
the team is working to build up a koala atlas, a series of maps to show where the koalas live. By studying claw marks and droppings, the teams are helping dispel some of the myths surrounding the animals. They also found out which trees to save and which ones to cut down. Well, some parents in New York did not want their teenagers to drink and drive, so they hired a limo driver to take them to the prom. Problem is, the limo driver was charged with drunk driving and endangering the students' lives. Police say it got so bad that one of the teens had to take the keys from the driver after he narrowly escaped a wreck. Police say the driver's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit for driving. Well, that's a look at our Satellite Center report tonight. I'll be back to let you know if anything urgent breaks. Until then, on with Primetime. Dave and Sue.
Thanks a lot, Pam. We now have more on that train derailment out at 40 Highway and Highway 7 in Blue Springs. It now appears it was a double derailment.
That's right. It's been confirmed that 30 cars reportedly jumped the tracks there, and authorities evacuated a nearby Kmart and a Hy-Vee grocery store.
Now, also, the Tri-County Hazmat Squad has been dispatched, as well as at least 2 ambulances. We do have a crew on the scene, and we will update you on News Channel 4 at 10. The Royals take the field at Kauffman Stadium.
But can they break their tough losing streak? Frank Bowl has the highlights coming up in sport.
Well, it looks like our sunshine's going to be ending, and we've got some rain coming up in the forecast. I'll have the details.
Right now, for 5 days only, everything's on sale at Sears Brand Central.
Everything on sale? I'm impressed.
That means all appliances.
Oh, good. I feel a new kitchen coming on.
Go for it with brands like GE, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, JennAir.
Sears has JennAir?
Sure. Plus, all electronics and computers are on sale. Sony, Packard Bell, Apple, and more.
I guess they don't call it Brand Central for nothing.
Right. And it's all on sale, but only through Monday. So don't wait.
There's always something I want.
At Sears Brand Central now.
Montel helps you work it out.
When you go to the beach this summer, will your mother look like this or like this?
She does not need to be wearing a bikini to the beach.
There are teenagers embarrassed by their mom's bikinis.
That is the littlest thing I've ever seen.
Are they really embarrassed, or are they just a little afraid of the competition?
Look at that and look at this. Why would I be jolly?
Teens confront their bikini-wearing moms.
When she starts paying the bills, let her tell me what to do.
Well, that's Montel.
Monday morning at 9 on News Channel 4.
You don't become #1 in Kansas City unless you give the customer what they want, more value for less money. Pontiac Grand Am, with all these features and a $1,000 cash rebate, now under 15 grand, thousands less than the imports. You get a flat, run out of gas, lock your keys in your car, we'll take care of it, no additional charge. Grand Am, #1 in its class in Kansas City, now an even better value with an additional $1,000 cash rebate, now under $15,000. See your Kansas City Pontiac dealers.
Where do top crew like Sam Johnson and his kids get what it takes to put a little color back in the old homestead? Let's go back to square one. Builder Square has more interior and exterior paint values than you can shake a stir stick at. Choose from Glidden or Dutch Boy with free computer matching of any color. Whatever you need to cover, they've got you covered at great square deal prices.
A better brush will eliminate streaks.
Builder Square.
They'll get you squared away.
A Kansas City neighborhood is taking the fight against crime into its own hands. In our top story at 10 o'clock, neighbors say someone tried to steal this car. When one resident caught him red-handed, he and other people in the neighborhood chased him down. Then the neighbors administered their own justice. Is it the right way to fight crime? We'll hear from the residents in the area. That story plus the Kansas City sports machine coming up at 10, and of course the latest on the train derailment out in Blue Springs. Boy, hope nothing major is going on in the weather tonight, because we don't need another crazy Sunday night.
Not for now. I know, it's amazing. I've been kind of just taking it easy this evening and surprising myself there that, wow, I don't have a lot to do here. But
that is strange for
yes,
a Sunday.
Yes, definitely is.
Or any day
Sunday.
recently.
Oh, I know, after last week. But I think we're going to be dealing with some more rounds of some thunder showers, but at least not just yet. But the Missouri River is still high. How long will it stay above flood stage? Let's take a look at some of these. For Monday afternoon, it will drop below flood stage in St. Joe. Tuesday in Glasgow, Thursday in Napoleon, Saturday in Miami, and it is still cresting in Waverly. And the cities that I don't have listed are already below the flood stage there, at least for the Missouri River. I'm going to show you this whole global picture of our satellite here to show you something. We have our first tropical depression of the year. It's not affecting anything, but it's actually out here in the Pacific. This is it right here. Not very organized. It's got about 35-mile-an-hour winds right now, gusting up to 40, and it is heading west out toward the ocean there, away from land. But we're going to keep watching it, because if high pressure that's north of it starts to slide east, we might start to see this one pick up northward. If it does, it might bring some moisture back our direction, but we're going to have to watch it. It's a long way out now, and this thing seems to be very disorganized, but it's the first one of the year. Up north, toward us there, you can see the 4. We've got some thunder showers popping out just to the west. We'll be watching those as they arrive in our area starting tomorrow afternoon. They'll be into central Kansas here, in eastern Kansas, as a matter of fact. It looks like till evening we'll see it here in Kansas City. Northwest Missouri, going to see it a little bit earlier. It looks like mid-afternoon or so for parts of northwest Missouri. Showers and thunder showers. Doesn't look like it'll be severe for the metro area, but back out to the west, we might see some very strong storms. We're seeing some of them now in parts of Nebraska. Low pressure will continue to move along this front. That will enhance the rainfall tomorrow night and into Tuesday. So that's going to be the key time to pay attention to those streams and creeks. It only takes about an inch an hour of rainfall to cause flooding in the streams and creeks right now, since things are just so wet. Temperatures tonight, 50 degrees, in the 50s there, so it's going to be cool, but not quite as chilly as this morning, since we were in the upper 40s this morning. Those 60s are bubbling northward, though, as more humidity kind of builds northward, and that will be a little closer to home as we head through tomorrow. It will feel a little bit more humid. The cooler air, though, back to the northwest, quite a ways away. 65 degrees right now, a dew point at 58. That has been coming up through the day. Our humidity is 78%. Winds lightly out of the south, and they'll stay light tonight. Then our pressure is rising there very slowly. 58 overnight, so we'll drop down close to that dew point there with light winds and some clouds. Some thunder showers out there in Nebraska are already bringing clouds just west of the metro. And for tomorrow in the afternoon, looks like a shot of a few thunder showers popping up on the Kansas side, especially by evening here in the metro. And then tomorrow night, a wet night, showers and thunder showers. And again, it only takes an inch an hour of rainfall to cause the flooding to come back to us in the streams and creeks. Tuesday, going to be a wet day again. That'll taper off later in the afternoon. Wednesday, just a couple of showers, and Thursday back to some showers and thunderstorms. But it looks like with the clouds, temperatures only stay in those upper 60s. It's warmer in New England.
That's depressing.
I know.
All right, thank you, Diane.
Kind of cold out at Kauffman Stadium these days, too. That's really cold.
It was cold all weekend, despite any kind of temperature, one way or another. It could have been 100.
It was still freezing out there. The A's had a lot of fun out of Kauffman Stadium this weekend. The Royals had very little. Bottom of the second today, Royals actually took the lead in this game. Back-to-back doubles. The first one was by Brent Maine. This one is Greg Gagne's. Maine scored, and the Royals were on top of the A's. The score was 1-0. Top of the third, they even got some defense. Watch Wally Joyner. Great grab, just touches the base for the out, and that ends the inning for the A's. Bottom of the third, turnaround is fair play. Watch the A's Mike Aldretti. He's going to rob Vince Coleman in left field. Nice catch right there to take extra bases away from Vince. Top of the fourth, A's tied it at 1, but Joe Aranda holds the game right there with this play at third base. This kid can play third, folks. He can slap some leather around. Top of the fifth, Ruben Sierra to John Nunley in right field. Now, he started back, and he couldn't get back in time. It falls in front of him. 2 runs were in. The A's were up 3-1. Bottom of the sixth, A's defense strikes again. Third baseman Scott Brosius, look at this, barehanded. He nails Gary Gaetti at first. The A's up 5-1. Bottom of the eighth, the Royals run themselves right out of a rally. Brent Maine, RBI single, but then watch Maine. He comes around first. He gets hung up between first and second. Meanwhile, Gary Gaetti, he's on third. He thinks, okay, well, I'll try to go home on it. Watch this perfect throw. He is out. It's 5-2 A's at that point. Then in the top of the ninth, Mark McGuire runs his hitting streak to 18 games, a towering 2-run shot into the second tier of the Fountains. The A's win it 7-2. The A's tack up 7 runs on 13 hits. The Royals with just 2 runs on 7 hits. Ontiveros wins his 4th. Gubicza loses his 4th. And this weekend was a total loss for the Royals. They're outscored 28-6, out-hit 38-20, and out-pitched. The Royals team ERA for the weekend was 9. Ouch.
We have the talent here. I mean, we're not obviously not doing things we're supposed to be doing out there, but it'll turn around. Like I said, there's a lot of talent here, and it's got to be done. I mean, we've got to win. I mean, you got to have that attitude that you don't care what you got to do to win. And I think once we get that, we're going to be all right.
I wouldn't call it a bad time for a road trip. I mean, you know, that's the way the game is. You're going to win some games, you're going to lose a series of games. Right now, we lost a series of games, and we have to make a comeback somewhere.
That insult to injury, that somewhere just happens to be Toronto, where they have to play a day game tomorrow. They traveled all night tonight to turn around and play a day game tomorrow. That one hurts as well. Here's what else happened today. In the American League, the Indians knocking things around Fenway Park. Carlos Baerga, 2nd of 2 home runs. Baerga also struck out for the first time in 100 at-bats this season. Cleveland wins 12-10. Toronto-Detroit, Tigers Lou Whitaker, an RBI double. Lou still swinging the bat. Tigers win it 2-1. Baltimore-New York, Yankee starter is Sterling Hitchcock. He goes the distance. He shuts out the Orioles. This is the final out of the game. The final score was 5-0. Seattle, Minnesota, the big unit. Randy Johnson mows down the Twins. He beats Minnesota by a final of 5-2. California beat Chicago 8-6 today. Also, Texas shut out Milwaukee 6-0. In the National League, hello, Florida at Atlanta today. The Braves, Javi Lopez. Atlanta beats the Marlins. The final today, 5-1 in that contest. New York at Philadelphia. The Phillies, Charlie Hayes. The right fielder, Chris Jones. Watch Jones. Not quite. The Phils win it 5-3 over the Mets. Colorado, Cincinnati. The Rockies, Vinny Castillo. The Rockies win it by a final of 5-2. Houston beat Montreal. Final there was 5-2. It was Chicago beating Los Angeles 2-1. St. Louis over San Francisco 9-7. Pittsburgh has just beaten San Diego. The final there 6-1. The NBA playoffs, the Pacers and Knicks for the right to advance the Eastern Conference Finals against Orlando. 124 and counting in regulation. The Pacers, Rick Smits quit the jumper. The Pacers on top by 5, 97-92. End of the game. The Knicks have a chance to tie it. They give it to their big man, Patrick Ewing. He goes down the lane. Patrick, jam it. Oh, you didn't? You missed. The Pacers beat the Knicks. Larry Brown's team moves on to face the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference titles. Reggie Miller kisses the court. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, New York at Philadelphia. The Rangers and Flyers in overtime face off, and the Rangers and Desjardins with the shot and the goal. The Flyers beat the Rangers 5-4.